Welcome to the very first episode of the Motivation Medium podcast. Yay! I'm Amber Malone, and this is the long overdue podcast. People have been telling me I should start a podcast for years because I love to talk. You know how things can feel overwhelming when you start thinking about all the steps you need to take and everything you need to figure out, the paralysis, as they call it. It's real, it's heavy, it's overwhelming. Even if it's something you know you would love to do, and believe me, I love to talk. I can talk and talk and talk. I am one of those people. I'll be on the phone with you and I'll say something like, okay, well, I'm gonna let you go because I know we both have things to do. 30 minutes later, I've changed the subject and we're still talking. I just wasn't ready then, and that's okay. Just because you don't feel 100% ready right now doesn't mean you'll never be ready. It doesn't mean you're not motivated or that you're not enough of something. It just means you're still learning about what you need and what ready looks like for you. And take it from me, it's okay to take your time. So, this podcast was born out of the times I felt like I talk way too much or I needed to tone it down. It's a love letter to anyone who feels like they're too much. I appreciate you. I thank you for being a part of the journey. All right, I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. Let's do this.
Earth is a school. It's a school. Always has been.
Welcome to the Motivation Medium podcast. I'm Amber Malone, and every week I'll share helpful ways to overcome shame and gentle reminders about embracing self-love. Together, we'll become more curious about our feelings and our human experience. Visit motivationmedium.com for more self-love tools. Okay, so the thing about shame is that it's the loudest when you want to challenge it, right? Sometimes it's louder than that voice in your head that says, your age isn't a factor. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Your best is always enough. Like, we know that. We know that. You can know that you're unique, that you're special. You can be fully aware that you have gifts and talents and so much to share and still feel afraid of trying something new. You can have a whole lot of people in your corner supporting you and still feel alone. You can go through your daily affirmations in the mirror every day and still feel doubt that you're enough. You can be positive, spiritually, mindfully, conscious, woke, and still feel overwhelmed by the idea of trying something that feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable. So I use the hashtag #ZeroShame so we can have zero shame conversations that normalize the fact that our feelings make us human. Because we can be the hardest on ourselves when we feel stressed, nervous, ashamed, and fearful. Trying something you haven't done before can feel scary and exciting at the same time because you can feel ready and not ready at the same time. And that makes perfect sense, even if no one else thinks so. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad you're figuring out with me. And I appreciate the fact that we're on this journey together. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Whew. I don't know about you, but when things start to feel overwhelming, I need to just breathe and embrace whatever that brings. Trying something new right now can feel scary, even if you teach other people how to deal with fear. Like, you can be the top expert on fear. Like, that's your whole brand. You can be the fear coach. That's what you're known for. and still struggle with navigating your own feelings right now. Today is one of those days where you are listening to yourself talk about whatever it is that you want to try, and it feels scary. How you're feeling right now is so valid. Are you feeling any inner discomfort in your body when you think about that thing that you want to try? Ask yourself, where in my body am I feeling sensations? Take a moment to get curious about it. Just explore it. You can hit pause if you need to and explore what's happening in your body right now for as long as you need to. This is your self-care time. And I want to remind you today the fact that you are taking this time to connect deeper to your feelings and the fact that you are in tune with what is happening in your mind and body right now. Like, that's a big deal. It is. It's a big deal. I also want to remind you that if you feel vulnerable and afraid at the thought of trying something new, you're not alone. This is your reminder that the thoughts that are coming up for you may or may not have labels, but they are thoughts we can all relate to. I saw this post on Instagram and it said, this is today's reminder that nobody has it all together. Like, we're all on this journey. We've all had the thoughts that you're feeling or thinking, the thought and the feelings that you're feeling right now. The feedback that you're receiving from your body, the thoughts that you're observing right now are helping you learn more about yourself. They're helping you relate more to yourself, and that's a great thing. It's great, one, because you're listening without shame. Two, you're listening without judgment. And you're just collecting more information about yourself. I also want to remind you that this is you embracing and honoring your feelings. This is you being curious about your feelings. This is you connecting deeper to your intuition. I see that all the time. How do I connect deeper to my intuition? What you're doing right now is connecting deeper to your intuition. And just because this is what's coming up for you right now, the fear about trying something different, it doesn't mean that it's always going to come up when you try something new. And just because other people look to you for advice about their struggles doesn't mean you don't have struggles too. You're human. We're human, right? So it's okay to feel scared and vulnerable about trying something new. I love that you're giving yourself permission to embrace where you are right now. This is you loving and embracing all parts of yourself. You are brave. You are listening. You are human. And all of us have felt the feelings you're experiencing right now. You're doing your best. And your best in this moment is always enough. So today, simply take whatever time you need to observe what's coming up for you. Zero shame. We've all been there. Thank you for listening.